There is a subject in Anna University 2017 regulation, one of the professional elective C8020 repair and rehabilitation of structure, in which third unit is only the special concrete. So here we discuss the third unit. The contents of third unit are majorly covered different types of special concretes. So in which first let us see the polymer concrete composites. So the introduction part of this special concrete, especially the polymer concrete, is normally simil concrete is an inherently porous material, and as such it has a low tensile strength. Of course, it exhibits a tendency to cracks and can deteriorate under the influence of severe chemicals in the atmosphere or in solution. Concrete polymer materials have been developed during the last 15 years in a number of laboratories around the world for applications as a construction material, offering the potential advantages of a higher strength, water tightness, and improved durability and resistance to freeze-thaw cycles over normal Portland cement concrete. The production of polymer concrete composites involves the introduction of chemicals within the pores of the concrete and their polymerization. What is polymer concrete? Polymer concrete is a part of group of concrete that use polymers to supplement or replace cement as binder. So normally these polymers is being used as binder material. So instead of cement in the concrete, we can use this thing, that is polymers. Then what are composites using polymers? So there are different composites. So let us see that thing. A polymer concrete, when a binder is a polymer that replaces the cement paste. And the next one is the polymer modified concrete, that is PMC, when the polymer is mixed along with cement. That is, in this PMC is containing both cement as well as polymer. Whereas the pure polymer concrete, it contains only the polymer instead of cement as binding material. Then third one is the polymer impregnated concrete, when the cement concrete is treated by soaking and polymerization. So once we casted this cement concrete, any member or any items or any things that we have casted with ordinary concrete, after which it should be soaking into the polymer solution. So that is called as polymerization, which is said to be a polymer impregnated concrete. Then partially impregnated and surface coated polymer concrete. So these all are composites using in polymers. Let us see the polymer concrete. Polymer concrete is a composite material which results from polymerization of a monomer and aggregate mixture. The polymerized monomer acts as binder for the aggregates, and the resulting composite is called polymer concrete. Two techniques are used to mix monomer with the aggregates. The first is the conventional method of adding monomer to the dry aggregate and stirring until a uniform blend is achieved. The second technique consists of placing the monomer in the specimen mold and then gradually adding aggregate to the monomer. The mixture is consolidated by mechanical vibration. So like that we just preparing the polymer concrete. The second technique, what we are doing, we just place the monomer in the specimen mold and then gradually adding aggregates to the monomer. Then finally it should be properly consolidated by mechanical vibration. What are the advantages of this polymer concrete? So the rapid curing at ambient temperatures can be attained. Then good long-term durability with respect to freeze and thaw cycles. Low permeability of water and aggressive solutions. Then good resistance against corrosion of rebars. So these are all some of the advantages of concrete. So here we some disadvantages are also there. It tends to be brittle in nature. That is, if fiber reinforcement is not provided in some polymer concrete cases, they tend to develop more cracks while loading. Then among the disadvantages is their high cost. So the polymer concrete is somewhat little bit more cost when compared with the normal concrete. The next, let us see the polymer modified concrete, PMC. It is also known as polymer cement concrete. Polymer modified concrete is gaining popularity because of its ease of handling, economy, and satisfactory results. Low water absorption and permeability make it an effective material for use in hydraulic structures as well. It has the property of setting quickly. So here the cement as well as the polymer both are acting as binder in this polymer modified concrete as we earlier discussed. So in this case, what are the some advantages? Then the PMC. The most impressive characteristic of PMC are its ability to bond strongly with the old concrete and to resist the entry of water and aggressive solutions. Then epoxy resins produced a concrete that showed some superior characteristics over ordinary Portland cement. Then disadvantages. The modest improvement of strength and durability. The modest improvement of strength and durability. It has to be improved, this both strength and the durability characteristics of concrete when compared to the normal concrete or other polymer concrete. Then polymer impregnated concrete, as earlier we have discussed, which means once we have casted the concrete with the use of normal cement and aggregates, after which it should properly be soaked into polymer solution, that is called as eventually once we casted the concrete, it has to be, that is precast and hydrated Portland cement concrete, which has been cleaned, then dried, eventually evacuated, and impregnated with a low viscosity monomer that is soaked under pressure before being polymerized. The most applicable improvements in the structural and durability properties have been obtained with polymer impregnated concrete. The unique feature of impregnating concrete is that a large part of the void's volume in the capillary pores is filled with the polymer and forms a continuous internal reinforcing structure, which is thus responsible for the remarkable improvement in strength and durability. So this is the somewhat good advantage when compared to other polymer concretes. Then what are the properties of PIC, polymer impregnated concrete? The mechanical and chemical resistance properties of polymer impregnated concrete composites are superior to the conventional cement mortar. Porosity of the conventional cement mortar is greatly reduced when it is impregnated with the polymers, thereby increasing its durability. Then the presence of the polymer in a polymer impregnated concrete not only envelops the cement mortar but also seals the voids formed during the cement hydration. So this is the main advantages. So once we have done the concrete with the use of normal cement and aggregates, after which uh, when the hydration process takes place, at that time lot of pores, lot of the pores are formed, in which the permeability of the concrete gets increased. Sorry, the permeability of the concrete gets increased. So once we do this polymer impregnation, what happened? The voids of the concrete is arrested, simply arrested, and therefore the strength of the concrete gets increases. So compressive strength increase and is different for different composition and on type of polymers used. Tensile strength increases and is different for different composition and on type of polymers used. Yes. Then finally, polymer impregnated and surface coated concrete. The partially impregnated concrete can be usually produced by internally soaking the dried specimens in the liquid monomer, then sealing them by keeping them under hot water at 70 degrees Celsius to prevent or minimize loss due to evaporation. So what we have done, the partially impregnated concrete can be easily produced by initially soaking the dried specimen in the liquid monomer, then sealing them by keeping them under hot water at 70 degrees to prevent or minimize loss due to evaporation. Then partially impregnation may be sufficient in situation where the major requirement is surface resistance against chemical and mechanical attack in addition to increase its strength. The depth of monomer penetration depends upon pore on the structures, then duration of soaking, finally the viscosity of the model. So these three parameters are mainly influence in the depth of monomer penetration. The first one is pore of the structure. So if the structure has more pores, then it is getting more impregnated. Then if we allow the more soaking time, if we allow the more time for soaking, then it will the impregnation is also more. Then viscosity of the molar, yes, that's the main thing, because the rate of flow into the concrete mainly depends on viscosity of the molar. Then advantages. It reduces freeze-thaw deterioration, corrosion. Of course, all polymer concretes are having same advantage. Increase in tensile strength, increase in compressive strength. Of course, the voids of the concrete or the pores of the concrete are simply arrested with the use of this impregnation, and therefore increase its both compressive and tensile strength. Increase in modulus of elasticity, then resistance to acid attack to improve the durability of concrete. Then less pores. So these are all advantages of the both surface coated and polymer impregnation. Then places of application. Where do we apply this polymer concrete? Normally structural floors, swimming pools, pipes, storage tanks for distilled water, anti-abrasive surface, marine structures, tunnel liners, then telephone cable ducts. So these are some of the application of the polymer concrete. Then finally we just conclude about this polymer concrete. Curing time studies on polymer concrete have established that it achieves around 70% of its strength after a curing of 1 day at room temperature. You see that curing time studies on polymer concrete have established that it achieves around 70% of its strength after a curing of 1 day at room temperature. Then durability studies on polymer concrete have established its superiority over conventional cement concrete. Then exposure to water, chemical agents, etc. has very less deleterious effect on properties of polymer concrete when compared to cement concrete. Yes. So with this I just conclude the polymer concrete.